What if I told you that in one of the driest places on Earth, there exists a message so massive, so precise, and so ancient that we only truly understood it once we learned how to fly? In southern Peru, in the Nazca Desert, lies one of the most mysterious archaeological phenomena in human history, known as the Nazca Lines. Not cities, not pyramids, not small artifacts buried in the sand, but gigantic geoglyphs carved directly into the surface of the earth, as if the ground itself was used as a canvas by an ancient civilization. A hummingbird with wings stretched in perfect symmetry, a monkey curled into an elegant spiral tail, a spider drawn with anatomical precision, a whale-like creature cutting across the desert floor, and thousands of straight lines, stretching so far that the human eye cannot follow them. But one question continues to haunt researchers even today. Why were they made so large? Why would an ancient civilization spend so much time, effort, and coordination to create designs that they could not fully see from the ground where they stood? To understand this mystery, we must travel back to around 200 BCE to 600 CE. The Nazca civilization lives in one of the harshest environments on the planet. The Nazca Desert receives almost no rainfall, winds are minimal, and the ground is so stable that any markings can last for thousands of years. In most places on Earth, human works disappear over time. Here, time preserves them. The Nazca people created these lines using a surprisingly simple method. They removed the dark surface stones of the desert, revealing the lighter-colored earth beneath. No paint, no carving into deep stone, just contrast in soil. Yet the result is astonishing. Perfectly straight lines stretching for kilometers without deviation. Animal figures so precise they appear mathematically designed. And geometric patterns that seem impossible without an aerial viewpoint. And here, the first mystery appears. How could they design something so large without ever being able to see it fully from above? Some theories suggest they used small hills as natural observation points. Others propose wooden towers or elevated platforms, simple tools that could help guide alignment. But even with these methods, the scale of many geoglyphs still feels excessive for ground-based planning, as if they were not drawing images, but constructing something guided by a different logic entirely. Then the question shifts. If they could not fully see it from above, why make it so large in the first place? One of the most widely accepted theories is the religious interpretation. The Nazca people may have believed that the world was divided into two realms, the earth for humans and the sky for the gods. In such a worldview, communication did not need to be seen by humans. It needed to be seen by something above humans. And if that is true, then size becomes essential. Because in symbolic logic, bigger does not just mean larger, it means more powerful. A small symbol might go unnoticed, but a vast figure spanning hundreds of meters could be an offering visible to the heavens themselves. Another theory suggests the lines were ritual pathways, not images to be viewed, but paths to be walked. People may have followed these lines during ceremonies, moving through the desert in sacred journeys, connecting important sites, water sources, ceremonial spaces, spiritual landmarks. In this interpretation, the lines are not drawings at all, but experiences. The size would then represent distance, journey, and spiritual effort. But this theory struggles to explain the animal figures. The hummingbird, the spider, the monkey. These are not simple paths. They are symbolic, intentional shapes. Then comes the astronomical theory. Some researchers believe the Nazca Lines were aligned with celestial events. Star positions, solar cycles,
seasonal changes, agricultural timing. In this view, the desert becomes a giant calendar etched into the ground, a system for reading the sky through patterns on Earth. But once again, the central question remains unchanged. Why make it so large? Why not build it smaller, closer, and more practical? At this point, size becomes the real mystery itself.
In the 20th century, when airplanes first flew over the Nazca Desert, everything changed. From the sky, the full design suddenly became visible. The desert transformed into a massive open-air gallery. Straight lines stretching endlessly. Animal figures perfectly revealed only from above. Geometric shapes that finally made sense from altitude. But this discovery created a paradox. If these designs are clearest from the sky, who were they meant for? The Nazca civilization had no known technology for flight, so either the intention was not human aerial observation, or their understanding of perspective was fundamentally different from ours. Some fringe theories suggest external or non-human influence, but there is no archaeological evidence supporting this. No advanced tools, no unusual artifacts, no signs of lost technology. Only humans, stone tools, ropes, and collective effort over centuries. And perhaps that is the most important clue of all. That something so complex could be created without modern technology, yet still appear so mathematically intentional. Another explanation is gradual construction. The Nazca Lines were not built in a single generation. They were expanded over hundreds of years, each generation adding new lines, new shapes, new meanings. What began as simple markings may have evolved into a massive cultural system over time, layer upon layer, generation upon generation, until the entire desert became a living record of belief and identity. But even this explanation does not fully resolve the mystery, because the question of scale still remains unanswered. Why did they consistently choose bigger? Some anthropologists suggest the answer may not be technical at all, but symbolic. Size as identity, size as presence, size as permanence. In a world without written archives or monumental architecture like other ancient civilizations, the desert itself became their canvas for legacy. And the larger the message, the longer it could survive both time and forgetting. Today, the Nazca Lines still remain, silent, fragile, enduring across thousands of years in an unforgiving desert. We can map them from satellites. We can analyze them with modern tools. We can reconstruct them digitally in perfect detail. But we still cannot fully reconstruct the mind that created them. We see the shapes, but not the intention behind them. And perhaps that is the true essence of the mystery. Not just what they made, but why they felt it had to be this large. And so the question still lingers above the Nazca Desert. Why were the Nazca Lines made so enormous? And what message were they trying to leave behind for a world they would never live to see understand?